You have probably tried cutting sugar before. Maybe you lasted 3 days, maybe a week. Then you stopped because nothing seemed to change. Here is what nobody told you. What you see on the outside and what is happening inside your body are two completely different timelines. There are 5 biological stages your body goes through when you stop eating sugar for 30 days. Each one targets belly fat through a different mechanism. Most people quit right before stage 3, which is when the real fat burning actually begins. Today, I am walking you through exactly what happens, day by day, based on what the research actually shows. Drop a comment right now before we start. Have you tried cutting sugar before, and how long did you last? Belly fat does not accumulate randomly. It accumulates on command from insulin. Every time you eat sugar, insulin spikes. Insulin has one job when it spikes. Tell your fat cells to open up and store more, specifically the fat cells around your organs. Fructose makes this worse through a separate route. Unlike glucose, which every cell can use, fructose can only be processed by your liver. When too much fructose arrives, your liver converts it directly into triglycerides and pushes them into visceral fat tissue. A 2009 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tested this directly. 2 groups drank beverages with the same total calories, one sweetened with fructose, one with glucose. CT scans after 10 weeks showed the fructose group developed measurably more visceral fat. The glucose group did not. Same calories, different fat outcome. And here is what makes it hard to escape. Visceral fat makes your cells less sensitive to insulin over time. Your body produces more insulin to compensate. More insulin means stronger fat storage signals after every meal. The cycle tightens on its own. Cutting sugar breaks that cycle at its starting point. Day 1 feels manageable. Day 2, something shifts. Headache, energy drop, irritability, and a craving for sugar that becomes oddly loud. This is not weakness. This is your body switching fuels. Your brain turns to glycogen stored in your liver and muscles. Every gram of glycogen holds 3 grams of water alongside it. As glycogen depletes over 3 days, that water gets released. This is why the scale drops 1 to 2 kilograms in the first 3 days. It feels like progress, but it is almost entirely water. By day 4, glycogen is depleted, the water loss stops, and the scale goes quiet. Most people see this and conclude cutting sugar is not working, so they quit. What they do not realize is that day 4 is precisely when fat burning is about to begin. Drink more water, add a pinch of mineral salt, eat adequate healthy fat to get through this stage. The discomfort peaks around day 2 and starts fading by day 4. After 72 to 96 hours without added sugar, baseline insulin begins dropping measurably. For years, insulin never fully returned to a low baseline between meals. Fat cells spent most of each day receiving storage instructions. Now, for the first time, fat cells are sitting in an environment that is not constantly telling them to hold on. A 2014 study in diabetes care measured this directly. After just 7 days of reduced added sugar, insulin sensitivity improved measurably in overweight adults. Less insulin circulating means weaker fat storage commands after every meal. The door that was always telling fat cells to store is starting to open the other way. Energy becomes steadier during this week. The afternoon crash begins flattening. Sleep often improves as blood sugar stops swinging dramatically through the day. The scale may not show much, but your hormonal environment is shifting from store to prepare to release. This is the stage most people never reach, and it is the most important one. For years, your liver has been in lipogenesis mode, converting excess fructose into fat and pushing it into visceral fat tissue. By day 8, with fructose gone and insulin lower, your liver switches modes. It shifts from making fat to burning fat. And the first fat it reaches for is the visceral fat sitting closest to it. A study published in Cell Metabolism in 2018 documented this directly. After 10 to 14 days of reduced sugar intake, researchers measured a clear increase in hepatic fat oxidation and decrease in lipogenesis activity. As your liver burns visceral fat, it produces ketones as a byproduct. Some people notice a slightly different smell on their breath around day 9 or 10. That is a direct sign your liver is actively burning fat for fuel. Mental clarity often sharpens noticeably during this week. Ketones provide a cleaner and more consistent energy signal to the brain than glucose spikes and crashes. Many people notice their waistband fitting differently around day 10 or 11. Not dramatically looser, but the internal abdominal pressure has reduced as visceral fat begins decreasing. Have you ever eaten a full meal and still felt like something was missing? That feeling has a biological cause. Leptin is produced by fat cells to tell your brain that energy stores are adequate, but chronic inflammation from visceral fat blocks leptin receptors in the brain. The message cannot get through. Your brain behaves as if you are starving even when fat stores are full. By week 3, 2 weeks of inflammation reduction has started clearing those blocked receptors. A 2011 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology confirmed this. 3 weeks of reduced added sugar intake produced measurable improvements in leptin sensitivity in overweight adults. The practical effect is immediate and recognizable. You eat a meal and feel genuinely done afterward. Not done for 20 minutes before wanting something else. Done for 3 or 4 hours. Hunger becomes a cleaner signal rather than constant background noise. Many people eat less during week 3 without trying to. Their body is finally giving them accurate information. By day 22, all 5 systems are running in coordination. Insulin is lower, fat cells are releasing more than storing, your liver has been burning visceral fat for nearly 2 weeks, leptin receptors are clearer, and hunger follows a rational pattern. A 2023 systematic review in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition analyzed multiple 4-week trials of reduced added sugar. Adults who reduced added sugars consistently showed measurable decreases in visceral fat on body composition testing. Average waist circumference reduction across studies was approximately 2 to 4 centimeters. Triglycerides improved, fasting insulin dropped, and C-reactive protein, a key inflammation marker, decreased. The scale may not reflect these changes dramatically, but your waist measurement, your energy, your sleep quality, and your blood markers tell a different story. The target is added sugars, not all carbohydrates. Remove sweetened drinks, obvious desserts and candy, and check labels on packaged foods for hidden sugar. High fructose corn syrup, sucrose, agave, and anything ending in OS are what you are looking for. Whole fruit, plain dairy, oats, sweet potatoes, and brown rice are not the problem. Their effect on insulin is fundamentally different from added sugars. The simplest rule for labels. If one of the first 3 ingredients ends in OS or the word syrup appears anywhere, the product has significant added sugar. Day 30 arrives, and most people feel something unexpected. Not just physically different. Differently oriented toward food entirely. Things that used to taste normal now taste overwhelmingly sweet. Fruit tastes genuinely sweet in a way that was harder to notice before. Your taste receptors recalibrated because the constant overstimulation stopped. Most people who reach day 30 do not return to exactly where they started. Not because they are disciplined, because they feel noticeably better and the old patterns no longer appeal the same way. Here is the 5-stage summary. Day 1 to 3, clearing old fuel and losing water weight. Day 4 to 7, insulin drops and fat cells prepare to release. Day 8 to 14, liver switches from making fat to burning visceral fat directly. Day 15 to 21, leptin clears and hunger becomes honest again. Day 22 to 30, measurable changes appear for the first time. The hardest part is days 1 through 3, the shortest stage. Most people quit there without knowing the most important stages are still ahead. Now you know what is ahead. Tell me in the comments which stage surprised you most. Or if you have done this before, what did you notice at the end? Subscribe to What Science Reveals for more videos like this every week. And if you want to go deeper on leptin resistance, that video is right here. See you in the next one.